Okay, I did an hour live chat after the Dune trailer premiered, so if you want a more in-depth discussion of everything I loved and hated about the trailer, although it's mostly just me fangirling, I'll put that link in the comment section down below. I'll pin it, so you can go and you can watch that. That's live. This video, I just want to talk about my top 5 hates and loves from the trailer, and then you can let me know what your hates and loves are. And if you haven't seen the new Dune trailer for the Dune movie coming out this December, please go watch it, and then please go watch the movie in December. Hoping it stays for December, it might be delayed. Alright, I'm gonna start with what I love first, just because the internet thrives on negativity, and I just wanna, I guess, screw myself over by not focusing on that. Number 1! That sandworm at the end was sexy as fuck. I feel like it's the closest, personally for me, that we've gotten to it representing or looking like the sandworms I'd imagined in my head when reading the novels. So, I'm so jazzed up about these sandworms. I think they look fantastic. I love that they have the circular look and then just the rows and rows of teeth, which, by the way, I have a video, a lore video on them. You can click on that. Hopefully I have a card popping up. I don't know if I will. But anyways, that sandworm was amazing, which actually leads me into number 2 of what I loved about the trailer. So we got to see the spice harvester scene. That's really important in the book, and I feel like every iteration of portraying the Dune novel, the first one, includes this because it's so important. You see that the Duke cares more about people than he does profit. But it's the first time we see these sandworms in the novel come up, or a sandworm, and just devour the spice harvester. And the fact that we got to see it in the trailer got me so hyped. Number 3. Shield technology. I know a lot of us like to talk shit about Lynch's Dune, and especially his shield technology was very blocky. I feel like it just was mostly a product of the time. This shield technology is perhaps the best I've seen. And I know, and I'm trying not to be unfair to previous series and movies that tried to do Frank Herbert's Dune, but I feel like technology and where we're at made it so they were able to have these epic shields. So I'm definitely not shitting on previous Dune mediums, but this shield technology is so good, and I'm so excited to see all the fights happening, especially when perhaps Paul decides he's not in the mood. And then he has to be shown that fighting isn't what moods are for. Okay, I think we're on number 4, the still suit design. I wasn't necessarily completely on board. I know I did a still suit video, and then I did some branching off ones, lore videos for Dune on still suits. I was okay with this iteration of the still suits. I thought it was fine. I didn't have a lot of complaints, but seeing it in action in this trailer and seeing a lot of characters move in it, I'm fucking loving those still suits. I know they're still not perfect, but honestly, we're never gonna get perfect from the novel. Which finally, number 5 of what I love, talking about never going to get it perfect from the novel. I think all of the casting so far, even though they don't necessarily look like their book character and how they're described, especially a certain man that is very sexy and described in the book as not so much. But I actually think that Zendaya as Chani is so well done. I think that's the best Chani I've seen so far. By the way, I say Chani, that's how Frank Herbert pronounced it. I don't know how they're going to pronounce it in the movie. I'll switch to whatever they decide to pick once they do. But for now, I'm just going to go with what the author of the Dune verse, the creator of it, how he says it, which is Chani. I'm more than willing to change that. But anyways, I love it. I think that's a great casting. I think Jason Momoa as Duncan, seeing him and how prominent he is in the trailer, because those of you that have read the novels know how important Duncan is. I think they made a good pick. I really like Jason Momoa. I have a soft spot for him just because I have met him in real life a few times, and he's just a very sweet, genuine human being. And I can generally tell when people are acting or pretending to be a certain way. He just seems like a really chill dude. So I have a soft spot for him, and I'm really excited to see him in the role as Duncan. All right, that being said, let's get into hate. I know this is going to seem a little bit nitpicky to certain people, but let's start with number 1. The Harkonnens are not redheads. Fuck you. Stop getting rid of redheads. This is pissing me off. We can't even be awesome, super smart, although disgusting villains anymore. So I don't like that the Harkonnens are all bald. Although Dave Bautista? I think I'm saying that right. I love him as the Beast. I think he's gonna do absolutely fantastic. So I like that. I just don't like that they're all bald instead of redheads. You dicks. Number 2, I'm not exactly impressed with the blue eyes that you get from regular spice consumption, the blue within blue. I don't think I've ever seen a live action portrayal of those eyes that I've liked, and I still don't think they did a good job. Despite me thinking Zendaya as Chani is absolutely amazing, and I love how she looks, I love everything about her, the blue within blue eyes, I'm not impressed with. But maybe you are, maybe this is how you envision them, and I'd love to hear from you in the comment section down below what you feel about them and why you think they did a good job representing that in this movie. Number 3, the Gam Jabbar test. I have a lore video on that. I haven't released it yet, unfortunately. I think it does release this month, but I know by the time I release this video, you guys won't have that. Normally, the Gam Jabbar is on a little thimble and it's a needle, and for the test, they place it near the neck, and then you also see further in the story, not going to spoil anything for anyone, but it's used again and it's super important. But here, it seems to be a long, thicker needle, I guess you could say. It almost looks like a knitting needle or a crocheting needle. It's very thick, and she's holding it at Paul's neck. I didn't like it at first. I really didn't like it. Then I did a live chat with you guys, and you guys talked about how it seemed a lot more sci-fi and a lot more intimidating than a thimble with a little needle attached. So I will say I'm not super impressed. I thought the box would be bigger as well. I know there are a lot of sexual jokes you can do from she thought the box would be bigger. I thought the box would be bigger. So I'm not as impressed with that scene as of right now. I would actually lean more towards, I hate that scene as of right now, but I haven't seen the entirety of it, so maybe when it happens, I'll be like, hey, this is amazing. But as of right now, I'm not completely sold on the Gam Jabbar, and I'm not sold on the box. Number 4, I'm not super excited that they're calling it a crusade instead of a jihad. I kind of feel like it's mostly due to some uncomfortable feelings a lot of people have with Middle Eastern culture and some of that terminology, and that they didn't want to turn off certain audiences, so I feel like they changed it to crusade instead of jihad. I'm not thrilled with that. I understand why they did it. I get from a marketing perspective why they would do that. I just think it's kind of fucking stupid, and people need to grow the fuck up. Lastly, number 5, what I hated, all we saw were Harkonnen troops attacking. We didn't see any of the special Imperial forces. I was really hoping we'd get a sneak peek of them, but all I saw were Harkonnen troops.